Thank you so much, Elsa. It's a great honor to be amongst everyone here. And Madame la Consul, Madame Bélanger, I am honored to be speaking to you all tonight. I want to congratulate the Chamber and, of course, Madame Bélanger for this initiative to encourage education. I think, Tara, your speech was so inspiring. Where are you, Tara? I don't see you, but you are you're a very gifted speaker, and I think you stole my speech. So I'll just end it here, and I'll say, in conclusion, enjoy your dinner. I'd like to still share a few thoughts about what this initiative is all about. It's to encourage education. As Elsa, you obviously spoke very well about this. We live in a world that's changing. The globalization, technology, new business models, demographic trends, global warming, geopolitical changes. This is a world of opportunities and also a world of challenges. And what's going to move us forward in the years ahead is nothing but leadership. Now, higher education is a great way to prepare young leaders and all of us for these challenges and opportunities. And there's a part of higher education which is about learning technical capabilities, right? Learning marketing, learning finance, supply chain, IT, human resources. But what is more important, and I think Tara's words were very inspiring, is the non-technical skills about leadership. And that's what I want to talk about, share maybe just a few thoughts. And I'm going to call these thoughts the 5 B's of leadership. So bear with me, 5 B's. Can you count to 5? So the first one is beware of seduction. And be clear, that's 2 B's, but we'll count for 1. Be clear about your purpose. It's very easy to be seduced by power, by money, by fame. And I have to share with you, Elsa, you probably don't know this, I have several friends that are in jail or leaving jail. So one of them is a former colleague of mine at McKinsey & Company, Rajat Gupta, right, was seduced by money and probably money when he did what he did on the board of Goldman Sachs. Another ex-colleague of mine at McKinsey, Jeff Skilling, was the CEO of Enron. He was my evaluator at McKinsey, and I think in this case, money was also a factor of seduction. So be wary about these risk is a big thing. As the CEO of a public company, I would say that profit is not the purpose of a corporation. It's an imperative, right? We have many imperatives in business. We need to have the right teams, the right leaders in the company. That's a people imperative. We have a business imperative. We need to have customers. Who is a customer of Best Buy in the room? Raise your hand. Who is not a customer of Best Buy in the room? See me after class. Okay? So we need to have customers and do great things for customers. And then, of course, we have a financial imperative, which is to generate a profit. But there's a big difference between an imperative and a purpose. And the purpose of a corporation is to fulfill a mission. In the case of Best Buy, is to help people enrich their life and pursue their passions with the help of technology. It's to be a good corporate citizen in the communities in which we operate. A key thing we talk about at the company with our leaders is for them to find their individual purpose. What's their reason for being? What is the meaning of their life? And then if you can link your individual purpose to the purpose of a corporation, then you're probably in a great spot to do great things in the world. But so from a leadership standpoint, first B is beware of seduction and be clear about your purpose. The second B is be clear about who you're serving. A conversation we had with our officers recently at the company was this. If any one of you believe that you're serving me as the CEO of the company, that you're serving your boss, you are so wrong. If you believe that you're serving yourself and your advancement as a leader, you are equally wrong. I have a good friend, Jim Citrin at Spencer Stewart, who once wrote, "The best leaders don't climb to the top, they are carried to the top." And I think that speaks about this. So my vision is that as a leader, we are the servant of the servants. So in our company, the servants are people on the front line, the wonderful blue shirts or Geek Squad agents or people working in our technology group who are serving customers directly, and we executives are their servants. So being clear about who you serve is my second B. The third B is be clear about your role. So if I remember correctly, when I lived in France, a great compliment for an executive or a leader is celui-là, il est très brillant. This is a brilliant man. He's very smart, or man or woman, excuse me, Madame le Consul. So he's very smart. I think smart is highly overrated. Any IQ over 120, doesn't make a big difference. EQ makes the biggest difference. And I find that, the role of a leader is not to be the smartest person in the room, even though it's a quirk that many of us have. We want to prove to the world that we're the smartest in the room. In fact, I'm trying to prove this to you with my 5 Bs, right? So I apologize for that. The role of a leader is, in my view, at least 2 things. One is build a team, right? Because without a team, you're nothing. And B is build an environment in which others can flourish, in which others can find their purpose and pursue their purpose. This is much better than just being smart. So that's my third B. The fourth B is be values-driven. A few years ago, I was working at McKinsey & Company here in New York, and I was asking advice to one of my partners as I was trying to grow and advance my career. And saying, what advice do you have for me, Russ? And he said 2 things. One is tell the truth, and 2 is do what's right. I told him, Russ, I'm looking for helpful advice. He said, no. If you do these 2 things consistently, then you'll stay out of trouble. And I'm not going to tell you I always tell the truth, and I only do what's right, but if you try, I think that makes a big difference, and some of my friends that have visited jails probably are reflecting on this. So integrity is a key foundation. The other value that is dear to my heart is diversity and inclusion. And I think that's really important, at least at 2 levels. One, from the standpoint of the performance of companies, McKinsey & Company has done studies that demonstrate that management teams or boards that are diverse from either a gender standpoint or from a ethnicity standpoint are more effective, and that their performance is better than boards and management teams that are not diverse. One of the things I'm very proud of at Best Buy is that 50% of my direct reports are women, and 40% of our board members are women. And it's a very, thank you. It's a very easy observation to show that diverse teams, again, perform better. But I think beyond that, there's a societal dimension. I'm very troubled personally by the increasing racial tensions in my home country of France. And I'm very impressed by how in this country, certainly in the companies I'm familiar with here, there is a drive to foster greater diversity and inclusion. I have a good friend who was raised in the Ivory Coast. He went to some good schools in France. He went to Polytechnique and then Les Mines and then INSEAD. So it's okay, not HEC, okay? Yeah. He then worked at the World Bank, at McKinsey & Company. When he left McKinsey, he couldn't find a job in France. And then he went on to be the CFO of Aviva in the UK, the CEO of Prudential, and now he's got this small job of being the CEO of Credit Suisse. And what Tidjane Thiam observed is that in France it was very hard for a person of color to find a good job. So I think one of the great platforms that you get when you're executives in companies is we can use the power of our corporations to change the world. And so be values driven. And so my 5th one is, and I'll conclude with that, is be an authentic leader. What is an authentic leader? I think that an authentic leader is somebody who is purposeful, mission-driven, values-driven, that lives an integrated life, meaning you're not a hard-nosed business leader at work and then a nice parent and then a generous donor. You live an integrated life and you try to live all of your values in all of these circumstances. So as we salute these recipients of the Serge Bélanger French American of Commerce Elsa Berry Award, I want to commend you for having been selected And I want to tell you that I think all of us are counting on you, and all of us are counting on each other to change the world. This is what we can do. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. And again, congratulations.